Hey, friends, Peggy Hall here, and I've got a question for you. What do you think would be the one change that you could make in your life that would make all of the difference? I've done encouragement coaching for many, many years, and I love speaking to clients and asking them this very question. Many people have come to me with help because they are feeling overwhelmed. They have a laundry list of things to do, and they want to accomplish all of these things. And they're asking me how they can be more productive, how they can lose weight, they can have more energy, how they can have better relationships, how they can improve their finances, how can they develop their spirituality, how can they navigate life after loss. There are so many areas where people are struggling in life. And I get it. I have had all of these challenges and I still do. And I am a kind of person, and maybe you are as well, that sort of multitasks. And I feel like I can take on everything at once and I can tackle all of these things if I only had more time, or if I only had some help, or if I were only more organized, or if there were only 48 hours in the day. But when it comes right down to it, usually there is one action or one activity or one change that is the linchpin for everything else. And I'm going to explain exactly what I mean with an example. And let me know in a comment what you think that is, and what you think that is for you, because it is different for each one of us. So, in my life and in my job and in my work and in my family and in my community, I am very, very busy. And I will often, this is where I'm going with this. I will often stay up quite late trying to get everything done. Just one more email. Let me review one more video. Let me edit one more video. Let me open up one more letter. I thank all of you that send me your cards and letters. There is an address for you in the description box below. And this idea of just one more, just one more. For many years, although I have fixed this as well, I actually was always running late and I would drive my family bonkers. Now, I would usually squeak in right at the last moment. So I was never actually like late, like really late, although they may argue with me on this. But when I think of jobs that I had, like I would be there on time, but at great stress and really at my own expense. I was rushing. I would arrive kind of frazzled. And I just had in the back of my mind, I need more time. I need more time. If I only had more time. Needing more time wasn't really the issue. I will say that I did fix that, and I'm grateful. I no longer rush. And let me back up a little bit, because this is the one change that I made that fixed so many of these issues that I had in my life. We may think that we're grappling with 10, 20 different things that need to be fixed, but usually when we make one change, it changes everything. And do you know what that was for me? It was a simple change and it made all the difference. I realized if I did this one thing, everything else in my life would get better with just this one thing. Losing weight would be easier. My irritations would reduce. I would stop rushing. I would feel more relaxed during the day. I would enjoy my family. I would have time for exercise. I would make healthy meals. I would have some time for personal, just things that I love to do, enjoyment. One simple change, and that was to get to bed earlier. That's for me. It may not be your issue. Here's what happened. By staying up late at night, it set up a cascade for a very frazzled following day. So staying up until midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and heaven knows I've done it for several years, but I realized that is the one change that would make everything else fall into place. So dialing back, and it has not been easy. I still strive to get to bed by 11 o'clock, but that is a great improvement over the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And this is why going to bed earlier allows me to have a better night's sleep, even if it's not a restful night, even if my cat wakes me up at 3 o'clock in the morning to be fed, and my girl Teddy wants to go out at 6 a.m. when I would really like to sleep in until 7. Even with those interruptions, by going to bed earlier, I get a better night's sleep. And what does that do for me? That allows me to have more energy. I don't feel as tired, so I'm not looking for sugary snack foods to keep my energy up. I'm not looking for caffeine to make me feel alert. And of course, the sugary snack foods and the caffeine all can have negative effects. At least they affect me negatively. Having a better night's sleep means that I can wake up at a decent hour. Instead of sleeping in until 8 or 9 a.m., I can get up at 6:30 or 7 is ideal for me, and not feel like I am just hitting the ground running, that I have a little buffer zone before I actually step in to the rest of my day. Getting a better night's sleep means I'm in a better mood, so that when those irritations and frustrations and nasty emails come my way, I don't get a lot of nasty emails, but any kind of aggravations during the day, I can handle them with more grace and ease because I'm not frazzled. Also, getting a good night's sleep means that I can think more clearly. I can actually be more efficient and more effective at my work because I'm not getting confused. I'm not losing a train of thought. I'm not foggy. I'm actually more clear minded. So, getting a good night's sleep made me feel as though I was operating at a more natural pace during the day. It was not a breakneck speed. I was not dragging myself, nor was I running on adrenaline and cortisol, which are those stress hormones that can masquerade as energy. So, getting a good night's sleep for me was the best change that I could make in my life. The one change that everything else hinged on. I had more energy. I was more relaxed. I was more focused. I was more pleasant to be around. I was not as easily irritated and aggravated. I had the energy to be able to do the work that I have to do, to handle the distractions, the interruptions, the volume of work that I do every day. And I was able to do so in a more pleasant, enjoyable manner. Now, let's rewind just a little bit and figure out, why was I skimping on my sleep anyway? Well, welcome to American culture and our society, always putting, let's say, pressure on people to accomplish more. And I actually looked at people who went to bed early. I mean, Lord forgive me, but I was kind of like, that's sort of lazy. How can you be going to bed when there's so much more work to do? All right, I'm just being very candid here with you, friends, and letting you know what I was thinking. I changed that completely. And I changed it to an attitude of self care and appreciation. And that needs, like needing to go to bed at a decent hour, are okay. I thought that I could be superhuman and that I would sleep, as the expression goes, when I'm dead. That sleeping was for, the deadbeats, the lazy people, and somebody like me that had to be productive and accomplish so much. I didn't have time for sleep. So it literally was changing my thoughts about this action. Sleep may not be your issue. And I'm using my example to show you how one simple change had a domino effect in the rest of my life. So this is such a powerful outlook and such a powerful action, because you only really need to focus on one thing. I was able to rein in my sort of emotional eating, because I was eating because I was tired and I was aggravated. I had more energy to do my exercise. I had more time to do the things that I enjoy, like painting and spending time with my animals and swimming and other activities that bring me joy. And the rest of my life started to work better just because of making this one change. So let me know what this is for you. It may be, if we're talking about things like our physical health, maybe for you, it is getting exercise. Maybe your sleep is fine. And you know for yourself that you feel better when you're active. And maybe you've told yourself that you're going to wake up and just go for a 30-minute walk before you do anything else, before you have a cup of coffee, before you look at your email or your phone or say hello to your spouse. You're going to get up and go for that 30-minute walk. This is something that you personally want to do. Then you can see how the rest of your day will unfold. I'm just giving examples. You may have something for example, that you want to cut back on your drinking, and you realize that this one change in your life is going to make everything else work better. Maybe for you, it is that you want to get a job. Maybe getting a job is going to give you money and independence and an opportunity to make a difference, and you've been sort of delaying on looking for a job. These are just a few ideas off the top of my head. I would love to hear from you. The point of this message is that I want you to dial down all of those changes that you need to make in your life that you feel are overwhelming, and really focus on the one thing that could make the biggest difference. This advice was given to me some years ago when I was really overwhelmed and frazzled doing my animal rescue work. I was picking up animals and picking them up from the vet and taking them to the, foster home. I was volunteering at the animal shelter. I was doing fundraisers. I was collecting blankets and then driving them to animal shelters all over Southern California. I was fielding emails and helping, match people up with their animals and foster pets. I was fostering animals. I was doing so much, and I literally was not making the impact that I wish I had. And a very wise person said to me, "What is the one thing that you can do that will make the biggest impact of all?" And I thought about it, and I thought, well, a lot of people can collect the blankets. I'm not the only person that can pick up the dog at the vet and take it to back to the shelter, the host family. What is it that I can do the best? And at that time, my answer was networking. I was very good at putting people together and doing the matchmaking. And that is something that I focused on. That may shift in your life. That one thing may shift. Later, I focused on education, and then later on fundraising. But the point is, I decided that I needed to find the one action, the one thing that would make the biggest difference. That's your homework, friends. I hope that it is valuable for you. I appreciate you coming here every Monday. I do these broadcasts at 11 a.m., and this is where we have our positive encouragement. And I appreciate having you on board, and I look forward to our next get together.